Hello everyone and welcome back. So guys, in today's video we are going to cover three most important topics, that is what are semantic tags, then we are going to see block versus inline elements, and then we are also going to see the basics of accessibility. So these are the topics that we are going to cover in today's video. We will be seeing what are semantic tags in HTML, why semantic tags are important and we should use them. Then we will see some common semantic tags. Then we will be seeing the difference between block versus inline elements, and then we will see accessibility basics. Okay, now you might be thinking that why are we discussing these topics? Okay, and let me tell you that today's video is going to be more of theoretical and we won't be writing much code in today's video, because these are like theoretical concepts that you should know, and from interview points of view these are very much asked questions. So it is very important that you should know these concepts, okay, if you are sitting for any HTML sort of interviews in future. So let's get started with today's video. Before that, if you are new to the channel, consider subscribing and make sure to check this playlist on my channel. Let's get started with the first topic, which is semantic tags. Okay, so what are semantic tags actually? So semantic tags are those tags in HTML which clearly describes their meaning to both the browser and to the developers. Developers means the us who are writing this code, and to the browser. Okay, so what are the examples of such semantic tags? So we have few examples as header, nav, main, section. Okay, so these are some of the examples for semantic tags. We will be seeing more semantic tags in a minute now, but why we should actually use them, what is their importance? So first thing is they improve the readability of your code, because see, if you just use divs, paragraphs and all of this, then it does not make sense that which part is your header, which is your main content, which is your sidebar, right? So if you have to make it meaningful for the developers and for the browsers also, then you should use meaningful semantic tags, because with the header it clearly mentions that this header is going to be used for the top section, right? Then we have footer, which will be used for the bottom of the page. Then we have main content, which will tell that this is the main content of the page. Okay, and this will also help in SEO. Now what is SEO? SEO stands for search engine optimization. Basically it helps the web browsers to rank your website. So whenever you search anything over the Google, you get a lot of search results, right? So if the SEO of your website is good, then your site will basically rank higher, okay, and it will be reached to the more users. It also improves accessibility. Okay, now what is accessibility? So we will be seeing in more detail about accessibility in few minutes, but let me tell you that whenever we create a website, we create by keeping in mind that this will be used by different set of users. Okay, different set of users, what does it mean? That some users might have some physical disabilities, because of which they might not be able to read the website properly, which means they are blind. Okay, so in that case what they do is they make use of screen readers. Now what are screen readers? The screen readers basically read everything that is written on your website. Okay, so when the screen reader reads your website, it will tell them clearly that this is a side section, this is a header, so they can understand, and they can understand in their mind that okay, how the site might be looking, because they cannot visualize it, right? So that is why it helps screen readers interpret better. Okay, now let's see first of all what are the different types of semantic elements that we have. So see, we have these many types of semantic elements, okay, like article, aside, details, fig caption. Now fig caption, what it is used for? Like if there is a figure, right, and you have to write that what is it, what does the figure implies, so you can use fig caption in that case. Figure, so basically showcase a figure. Footer and header, I already told you. Then we have main for the main content. So in this way we have a lot of semantic tags, okay, and here it is clearly written that in HTML there are several semantic tags that can be used to define different parts of a web page. So see, using semantic tags, it is how easy it is to understand the layout of a web page. So we have the header at the top, then we have any navigation links if you want. Now navigation links are like what? So see, these are like navigation links here that you can see: tutorials, exercises, certificates, services. Now it can be inside your header itself, or it can be on the side also. So, or it can be at both the places. So in this case it is at both the places, in the header also and on the sidebar also. Then we have section, we have aside, this is kind of a aside, okay, and then we have article. So if you are writing a blog, so you can use article in that case, and then at the bottom we have footer. Okay, so I hope now you have understood what are semantic tags, and if you want to understand what is the use of every semantic tag, here it is clearly mentioned. Okay, like article, it defines independent self-contained content. Aside, it defines content aside from the page content. So like this type of content is called as aside. Okay, details defines additional details that a user can view or hide. So you can read in this way, okay? Like you just have to search for HTML semantic tags and you can go to this website and then read more about it. But I hope now you have understood what is semantic tags. Now let's move on to the next topic, which is block versus inline elements. So let's understand what are block elements first. So few of the elements that we have will take full width of your parent and it will start always on the new line. Okay, now example of such elements are your div, h1 to h6 tags, your paragraph tag and your section tag. Okay, now if you write a paragraph inside a paragraph, you will notice that the paragraph will always start on a next line. Okay, same goes with h1 to h6 divs and sections. Now what are inline elements? Inline elements only take as much width as needed and they do not start on a new line. And examples of inline elements are your span tag, anchor tag, strong, emphasize. Okay, now let's go to the code editor and let's see. I have written this line basically. Okay, what does this line says is I'm using a paragraph over here. Okay, and it says this is a, and then I'm using a span tag, and in the span tag I'm writing red word and just making it red using CSS. That is fine. And then continuation of the paragraph. So when I will go to my web browser and I will see this, you can see this span tag, whatever the text that is written in span tag is not coming on the new line, right? The red word text, right? So this is only what is called as inline tag. Okay, so span is one such inline tag for us, whereas p or paragraph tag is a block, okay, block level tag. Now what I will do is I will just copy this line. Okay, to make you understand better, I will copy this line, I will paste it here, and instead of span tag, let me use a p tag for this thing. Okay, for red word, and let's see what is the difference it makes. I'm saving this and let's go to the browser and see. As soon as I used p tag instead of span tags, what happened is the text red word came on new line, which means it is taking the entire width of a line and it is also starting from a new line, right? So that is what we have learned, that what are block elements, they take full width of the parent, whereas inline elements, they take only as much width as needed. Okay, so how much width was needed, that much only they took it, and they did not start it on a new line. So now I hope you have understood block versus inline elements also. Now let's understand what is accessibility and what are the basics of it. I have already explained you accessibility basically. So we should make our websites accessible to all type of users, and how can we do so? So for example, when you are writing an image tag, right, you know there is an attribute called as alt. What does it do? Just in case if your image does not load properly or if it breaks somehow, so then in that case that alt text will be showing on the website. Now what is the usage of it? So for example, if someone who is blind is like, you know, on your website, they are trying to read your content via some screen reader. So some like, you know, screen reader or some, you know, AI kind of thing is reading your text on the website and there is nothing. Okay, the image does not load and there is an empty space. You have not added an alt attribute, so they do not know what was there in that place. Whereas in such cases where you have added an alt attribute and the image was not loaded, the text of the image will be, you know, read out to the end user, so they will understand, okay, that this image is related to this. Okay, there was an image, there is an image here and this is the usage of it. And even if the image is loaded also, in that case also for them the alt whatever the text that is written in alt will be read out to them. So this is the importance of it. Okay, I hope you are understanding what you can do, you know, to have better accessibility. So you can use proper headings for in order, like from h1, h2, h3, which is where is your main heading. You can use h1 for that, for h2 for subheadings and all. Then you can use label for form inputs, right? We have used labels, so you should use that. Avoid only color based indicators for colorblind users. Use semantic tags for structure, right? We have just now understood what are semantic tags, so you should use semantic tags wherever possible, so for them it is easy. Now we have learned a lot of things. Let's now what I'm doing is I'm just commenting this code and I'm going to show you one code. Okay, so just see this code. Okay, I have written some basic content. What is happening here? I have written all this content using semantic tags. Okay, so if you notice, we have this body. Okay, actually I have the body 2 times, so let me remove this. Okay, this is not needed and this one is also not needed. Let's understand what this code is doing. Okay, this code is just basically kind of a blog website. You can understand is this way. First of all, this is, I am writing h1 inside a header. Okay, if required, I would have just used div also instead of header. That would also be like totally fine and everything would be looking absolutely normal on the front end. But when you write it inside a header, it makes it more meaningful for the browser and for the developer also. Okay, that this part is the header which is coming on the top of the page, and then I'm writing nav. Okay, I'm using a nav element, and then whatever my links are there, I'm putting inside that nav element. So this clearly showcases that all the links are here. Okay, to the developer also it is very clear, right? Now whatever is the main content of my website, I'm putting inside my main tags, and then I'm using articles to show my text and headings, and whatever my article related content is, readable content. Then I'm using footer, and inside that I'm showing my whatever the text that I want to show in my footer. Now we will also be talking about entities, and this special symbol, you might be thinking what is that, in our upcoming video. But for now, just understand that wherever possible, try to use semantic tags and make sure that you understand what are semantic tags, because from interview point of view, it is an important topic. So guys, that's all for this video. I hope that you found the video helpful. Thanks for watching the video.